Picture this. It's Monday morning, and you've got a big project due by the end of the week. You sit down at your desk, ready to tackle it, but instead, you find yourself scrolling through your phone, checking emails, or even reorganizing your desk, anything but the task at hand. Sound familiar? Procrastination is something we've all faced, and it's more than just a bad habit. It's a thief of time, stealing our focus, productivity, and even our peace of mind. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from this cycle? A way rooted in ancient wisdom that has stood the test of time. That's where Stoicism comes in. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a practical toolkit for life. It teaches us how to focus on what truly matters, take control of our actions, and stop letting distractions and excuses hold us back. In this video, we're diving into 30 Stoic rules specifically designed to help you overcome procrastination. These rules aren't just theoretical, they're actionable steps you can start applying today to transform how you approach your work, your goals, and your life. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear understanding of how Stoicism can help you break the procrastination cycle, boost your productivity, and reclaim your time. So, if you're ready to stop putting things off and start taking meaningful action, let's dive into the first rule. Trust me, by the time we reach Rule 30, you'll see procrastination in a whole new light, and you'll have the tools to beat it for good. Now let's dive into the first rule, and it's a powerful one. Focus on what you can control. This is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, and it's incredibly effective when it comes to overcoming procrastination. Think about it. How often do we waste time worrying about things we can't change? The weather, other people's opinions, or even the outcome of a project before we've even started. These are all external factors, and they're completely outside of our control. But here's the thing, while we can't control these external factors, we can control how we respond to them. Stoicism teaches us to direct our energy toward what's within our power, our actions, our mindset, and our decisions. When you focus on what you can control, you eliminate the distractions that pull you away from your goals. For example, instead of worrying about whether your boss will like your presentation, focus on preparing it to the best of your ability. Instead of stressing about how much time you've already wasted, decide to start now, even if it's just for 5 minutes. This shift in focus is liberating. It cuts through the noise of procrastination and gives you a clear path forward. By concentrating on what's within your control, you stop feeling overwhelmed by external pressures and start taking meaningful action. And the more you practice this, the easier it becomes to break the cycle of procrastination. So, the next time you catch yourself putting something off, ask yourself, what can I control right now? Then take that first step. It might be small, but it's a step in the right direction. And that's how you build momentum. With this principle in mind, let's move on to the next rule, where we'll explore how to further refine your focus and prioritize what truly matters. Now, let's take this idea a step further with the second rule. Practice the dichotomy of control. This concept builds on what we just discussed, but it goes even deeper into how Stoicism helps us manage our time and energy effectively. The dichotomy of control is all about clearly separating what's within your power from what isn't. It's not just about focusing on what you can control, it's about actively letting go of what you can't. Think of it this way, every task, every worry, every decision in your life falls into one of two categories. Either it's something you can influence or it's something you can't. The key is to recognize the difference. For example, you can't control how long it takes for a colleague to respond to your email, but you can control how you spend your time while waiting. You can't control whether it rains on the day of your outdoor event, but you can control how you prepare for it. This distinction is incredibly powerful because it helps you prioritize. When you stop wasting mental energy on things you can't change, you free up space to focus on what truly matters. It's like decluttering your mind. You remove the unnecessary worries and distractions, leaving only the tasks and decisions that are within your power. Here's how you can apply this in your daily life. Start by making a simple list. On one side, write down the things you can control, like your effort, your attitude, and your actions. On the other side, write down the things you can't control, like other people's opinions, the past, or external events. Then, make a conscious effort to direct your energy toward the first list and let go of the second. This practice doesn't just reduce procrastination, it also brings a sense of calm and clarity. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, you stop feeling overwhelmed. You start to see your tasks more clearly, and you're able to approach them with focus and determination. So, the next time you find yourself stuck in a cycle of worry or delay, ask yourself, is this something I can control? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, take action. This simple shift in mindset can transform how you approach your goals and responsibilities. With this foundation in place, let's move on to the next rule, where we'll explore how embracing the present moment can help you take immediate action and break free from procrastination. Now, let's shift our focus to the third rule, embracing the present moment. This Stoic practice is all about grounding yourself in the here and now, rather than getting lost in the uncertainties of the future or the regrets of the past. When you live in the present, you're able to take immediate action, which is one of the most effective ways to combat procrastination. Think about it. How often do we delay tasks because we're worried about how they'll turn out? We tell ourselves, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll wait until I feel more prepared. But the truth is, the future is never guaranteed. The only moment you truly have is this one. By focusing on what you can do right now, you break the cycle of overthinking and hesitation. Stoics believe that the present moment is where life happens. It's where you have the power to act, to make decisions, and to create change. When you embrace this mindset, you stop waiting for the perfect time and start taking small, meaningful steps toward your goals. For example, instead of putting off a project because you're unsure how it will turn out, focus on completing just one small part of it today. That immediate action builds momentum and makes the next step easier. This practice also helps you let go of the anxiety that often comes with procrastination. When you're fully present, you're not weighed down by worries about what might happen or what could go wrong. You're simply focused on the task at hand, which makes it easier to get started and stay engaged. Here's a simple way to apply this rule. Whenever you catch yourself delaying a task, pause and ask, what can I do right now? It might be something as small as writing the first sentence of a report, organizing your workspace, or making a quick phone call. The key is to take action, no matter how small, because each step forward builds confidence and reduces the urge to procrastinate. By embracing the present moment, you're not just overcoming procrastination, you're also cultivating a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment. You're showing up for your life one moment at a time, and that's where real progress happens. With this mindset in place, let's move on to the next rule, where we'll explore how imagining the worst-case scenario can actually motivate you to take action and stay on track. Now let's explore the fourth rule, using negative visualization. This Stoic technique might sound counterintuitive at first, but it's a powerful tool for overcoming procrastination. The idea is simple. Imagine the worst-case scenario if you don't complete the task you've been putting off. What would happen if you failed to act? How would it impact your goals, your relationships, or your future? By visualizing these consequences, you create a sense of urgency that pushes you to take action. Think about a project you've been delaying. Maybe it's a work assignment, a personal goal, or even a difficult conversation you've been avoiding. Now picture what could go wrong if you don't tackle it. Perhaps you'll miss a deadline, lose an opportunity, or let someone down. These possibilities can feel uncomfortable, but that's the point. Discomfort is a motivator. It reminds you that inaction has real consequences, and it pushes you to act before it's too late. Stoics believe that facing these uncomfortable truths helps us appreciate the importance of our actions. It's not about dwelling on negativity, it's about using it as a catalyst for change. When you visualize the worst-case scenario, you're not just imagining failure, you're also reminding yourself of what's at stake. This clarity can break through the inertia of procrastination and help you prioritize what truly matters. Here's how you can apply this rule in your daily life. The next time you find yourself procrastinating, take a moment to ask, what's the worst that could happen if I don't do this? Be honest with yourself. Then use that answer as motivation to start. Even if the task feels overwhelming, remember that taking one small step today can prevent a bigger problem tomorrow. Negative visualization also helps you build resilience. By confronting potential setbacks in your mind, you're better prepared to handle them if they arise. This mental rehearsal reduces fear and uncertainty, making it easier to take action without hesitation. So, the next time you're tempted to put something off, try this Stoic practice. Visualize the consequences of inaction and let that urgency propel you forward. It's not about fear, it's about using clarity and purpose to overcome procrastination and take control of your life. With this mindset in place, let's move on to the next rule, where we'll discuss how breaking tasks into smaller steps can make even the most daunting projects feel manageable. Now, let's turn our attention to the fifth rule, breaking tasks into smaller steps. This Stoic approach is all about making the overwhelming feel manageable. When you're faced with a big project or a daunting goal, it's easy to feel paralyzed by its size or complexity. But the Stoics understood that progress begins with the first step, no matter how small. Think about it. When you look at a mountain, you don't focus on the peak. You focus on the path ahead, one step at a time. The same principle applies to your tasks. By breaking them down into smaller, more achievable pieces, you remove the mental barrier that keeps you from starting. Instead of seeing a massive, intimidating goal, you see a series of clear, actionable steps. For example, let's say you've been putting off writing a report. Instead of thinking, I need to write an entire report, break it down. Start with outlining the main points. Then write one section at a time. Before you know it, you've made progress without feeling overwhelmed. This approach not only makes the task less intimidating but also builds momentum. Each small step you complete gives you a sense of accomplishment, which fuels your motivation to keep going. The Stoics believe that action is the antidote to procrastination. By focusing on what you can do right now rather than the enormity of the entire task, you shift your mindset from avoidance to engagement. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. Even the smallest step forward is better than standing still. Here's how you can apply this rule in your daily life. The next time you're faced with a task that feels too big to tackle, pause and ask yourself, what's the smallest step I can take right now? Maybe it's drafting an email, organizing your workspace, or simply brainstorming ideas. Whatever it is, start there. Once you've taken that first step, the next one will feel easier. Breaking tasks into smaller steps also helps you stay focused. Instead of getting lost in the enormity of the goal, you can concentrate on the immediate action in front of you. This clarity reduces distractions and keeps you moving forward one step at a time. So, the next time you find yourself staring at a mountain of work, remember the Stoic approach. Break it down, take the first step, and let the momentum carry you forward. It's not about doing everything at once, it's about starting where you are and building from there. With this strategy in mind, let's move on to the next rule, where we'll explore how cultivating self-discipline can help you build habits that keep procrastination at bay. Now, let's shift our focus to the sixth rule, cultivating self-discipline. This Stoic virtue is a cornerstone of overcoming procrastination because it's about training yourself to do what needs to be done, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. Self-discipline isn't about being perfect, it's about showing up consistently, even when motivation is low. The Stoics believed that self-discipline is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. When you commit to small, consistent actions every day, you build habits that make it easier to stay on track. For example, if you've been putting off exercise, start by committing to just 10 minutes a day. Over time, those 10 minutes will become a natural part of your routine, and you'll find it easier to extend that time or take on more challenging workouts. One of the most powerful ways to cultivate self-discipline is by setting clear, consistent routines. Routines remove the need for constant decision-making, which can drain your willpower. When you know exactly what you need to do and when, you're less likely to procrastinate. Think of it like brushing your teeth. You don't debate whether or not to do it every morning. It's just part of your routine. Another key aspect of self-discipline is learning to delay gratification. The Stoics understood that short-term discomfort often leads to long-term rewards. For instance, instead of scrolling through social media when you should be working, remind yourself of the satisfaction you'll feel when the task is complete. By choosing the harder but more meaningful path, you strengthen your ability to resist distractions and stay focused. It's also important to recognize that self-discipline isn't about punishing yourself. It's about aligning your actions with your values and goals. When you remind yourself why a task matters, it becomes easier to push through the resistance. For example, if you're working on a project that feels tedious, think about how it contributes to your larger goals. This sense of purpose can help you stay disciplined even when the work feels tough. Here's a practical way to start building self-discipline today. Identify one small habit you want to develop, like waking up 10 minutes earlier or dedicating 15 minutes to a task you've been avoiding. Commit to doing it every day, no matter how small the effort seems. Over time, these small actions will compound, and you'll find it easier to tackle bigger challenges without procrastinating. The Stoics knew that self-discipline is the foundation of a productive and meaningful life. By cultivating this virtue, you not only overcome procrastination, but also build the resilience and focus needed to achieve your goals. With this in mind, let's move forward to the next rule, where we'll explore how accepting imperfection can free you from the fear of failure and help you take action more confidently. Now, let's turn our attention to the seventh rule, accepting imperfection. This Stoic principle is a game changer when it comes to overcoming procrastination because it directly addresses one of the biggest barriers to taking action, the fear of failure. Many of us delay starting tasks because we're afraid we won't do them perfectly. But Stoicism teaches us that perfection is not only unattainable but also unnecessary. The Stoics believed that striving for perfection often leads to paralysis. When you're so focused on getting everything right, you end up doing nothing at all. Instead, they encouraged embracing imperfection as a natural part of growth. Think of it this way: every great artist, writer, or inventor started with imperfect work. What mattered was that they took the first step, even if it wasn't flawless. Accepting imperfection doesn't mean settling for mediocrity. It means recognizing that progress is more important than perfection. For example, if you've been putting off writing a report because you're worried it won't be perfect, remind yourself that a completed draft, even with flaws, is far more valuable than no draft at all. You can always refine it later, but you can't improve something that doesn't exist. This mindset shift can be incredibly liberating. When you let go of the need to be perfect, you free yourself from the pressure that often leads to procrastination. Instead of waiting for the right moment or the perfect idea, you can start where you are with what you have. The Stoics called this amor fati, or loving your fate, embracing the imperfect circumstances of the present and making the most of them. One practical way to apply this rule is to set realistic expectations for yourself. Break your tasks into smaller, manageable steps and focus on completing them rather than perfecting them. For instance, if you're working on a presentation, aim to create a solid outline first rather than obsessing over every detail. By taking small, imperfect steps, you build momentum and reduce the fear of failure. Another key aspect of accepting imperfection is learning to view mistakes as opportunities for growth. The Stoics saw failure not as something to be avoided but as a teacher. When you make a mistake, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? This shift in perspective helps you see imperfection as a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block. By embracing imperfection, you remove the mental barriers that often hold you back. You give yourself permission to start, to try, and to grow without the weight of unrealistic expectations. This Stoic approach not only reduces procrastination but also fosters resilience and creativity, helping you move forward with confidence. With this in mind, let's move on to the next rule, where we'll explore how voluntarily embracing discomfort can strengthen your ability to take action and overcome procrastination. Now, let's shift our focus to the eighth rule, practicing voluntary discomfort. This Stoic principle might sound counterintuitive at first, but it's a powerful tool for building resilience and overcoming procrastination. The idea is simple yet profound. By willingly stepping into discomfort, you train yourself to handle challenges with greater ease and confidence. The Stoics believed that avoiding discomfort only makes it harder to face when it inevitably arises. Think of it like building a muscle. If you never push yourself to lift heavier weights, you'll never grow stronger. Similarly, if you always avoid tasks that feel difficult or unpleasant, you'll struggle to build the mental toughness needed to tackle them. Voluntary discomfort doesn't mean seeking out unnecessary suffering. It's about choosing to do the hard thing now so that it becomes easier later. For example, if you've been putting off a workout because it feels exhausting, committing to it anyway strengthens your discipline. Over time, this practice makes it easier to start tasks even when they feel daunting. One practical way to apply this rule is to start your day with a small act of discomfort. This could be as simple as waking up earlier than usual, taking a cold shower, or tackling the most challenging task on your to-do list first. These small acts of discipline set the tone for the rest of your day, making it easier to stay focused and productive. Another key aspect of voluntary discomfort is reframing how you view challenges. Instead of seeing a difficult task as something to avoid, see it as an opportunity to grow. The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, or premeditation of adversity. By mentally preparing for discomfort, you reduce its power over you. For instance, if you're dreading a tough conversation, remind yourself that facing it head-on will make you stronger and more capable in the long run. This mindset shift is crucial for overcoming procrastination. When you embrace discomfort voluntarily, you take away its ability to paralyze you. You stop waiting for the right moment or the perfect conditions and start taking action, even when it feels uncomfortable. Over time, this builds a habit of resilience that makes procrastination less likely. By practicing voluntary discomfort, you not only reduce procrastination but also develop a deeper sense of self-mastery. You learn to trust yourself to handle challenges, no matter how difficult they may seem. This Stoic approach empowers you to move forward with confidence, knowing that every step into discomfort is a step toward growth. With this in mind, let's move on to the next rule, where we'll explore how reflecting on your mortality can inspire urgency and focus in your daily life. Now, let's turn our attention to the ninth rule, reflecting on your mortality. This Stoic practice, known as memento mori, which translates to remember you must die, might seem intense at first glance. But it's not about dwelling on fear or despair. It's about using the awareness of life's impermanence to inspire urgency and focus in your daily actions. The Stoics believed that remembering the inevitability of death helps us prioritize what truly matters. When you're aware that your time is limited, you're less likely to waste it on trivial distractions or procrastination. Instead, you're motivated to act with purpose and make the most of every moment. Think of it this way. If you knew today was your last day, would you spend it scrolling through social media or putting off that important project? Probably not. Reflecting on your mortality isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to wake you up to the value of your time. It's a reminder that every day is a gift and every moment is an opportunity to live meaningfully. One practical way to incorporate this practice into your life is to take a few moments each day to reflect on your mortality. This could be as simple as pausing in the morning to remind yourself, today could be my last day. How will I make it count? This small act of reflection can shift your mindset, helping you focus on what's truly important and letting go of what's not. Another way to apply this rule is to use it as a tool for decision-making. When faced with a choice, ask yourself, will this matter in the grand scheme of things? Will I regret not doing this when my time comes? This perspective can help you cut through indecision and take action on the things that align with your values and goals. Reflecting on your mortality also helps you appreciate the present moment. It's easy to get caught up in planning for the future or dwelling on the past, but the Stoics remind us that the only time we truly have is now. By embracing this mindset, you're less likely to procrastinate and more likely to act with intention and gratitude. This practice doesn't just reduce procrastination, it transforms how you approach life. It encourages you to live with purpose, to cherish your relationships, and to pursue your passions without delay. It's a powerful reminder that life is short, and every moment is an opportunity to create something meaningful. With this in mind, let's move forward to the next rule, where we'll explore how setting clear intentions can help you stay focused and motivated in your daily tasks. Now let's shift our focus to the 10th rule, setting clear intentions. This Stoic principle is all about defining your purpose before you begin any task. When you know exactly why you're doing something, it becomes easier to stay focused and motivated, even when distractions or challenges arise. The Stoics believed that clarity of intention is the foundation of meaningful action. Without a clear sense of purpose, it's easy to drift aimlessly or get bogged down by indecision. But when you set a specific intention, you create a roadmap that guides your efforts and keeps you aligned with your goals. For example, instead of vaguely telling yourself, I need to work on that project, try setting a clear intention like, I will spend the next hour drafting the introduction because it's the first step toward completing this project. This simple shift in mindset gives you a sense of direction and makes the task feel more manageable. Setting clear intentions also helps you prioritize. When you know what truly matters, you can focus your energy on the tasks that align with your values and long-term objectives. This reduces the temptation to procrastinate on less important activities or get sidetracked by trivial distractions. Another benefit of this practice is that it builds momentum. When you start your day or a specific task with a clear intention, you're more likely to take immediate action. This creates a positive feedback loop. Each small step forward reinforces your motivation and makes it easier to keep going. To apply this rule in your own life, take a moment before starting any task to ask yourself, what is my intention here? What do I hope to achieve? Write it down if it helps. This simple act of reflection can transform how you approach your work, making it more purposeful and less prone to procrastination. Setting clear intentions also ties back to the Stoic idea of living in alignment with your values. When your actions are guided by a clear sense of purpose, you're less likely to waste time on things that don't truly matter. Instead, you'll find yourself moving steadily toward your goals, one intentional step at a time. As we move forward, the next rule will explore how avoiding overthinking can help you break free from the paralysis that often leads to procrastination. By combining clear intentions with decisive action, you'll find it easier to stay on track and make meaningful progress. Now, let's turn our attention to the 11th rule, avoiding overthinking. The Stoics understood that overthinking can be one of the biggest barriers to taking action. When we spend too much time analyzing, second-guessing, or worrying about every possible outcome, we often end up stuck in a cycle of indecision. This mental paralysis not only wastes time but also fuels procrastination, as we convince ourselves that we need to have everything figured out before we can begin. The Stoic approach is simple yet powerful. Focus on what you can do right now rather than getting lost in endless what-ifs. Overthinking tends to magnify problems, making them seem more complex or intimidating than they really are. By contrast, taking even a small step forward can break the cycle and create momentum. One practical way to avoid overthinking is to set a time limit for decision-making. For example, if you're struggling to start a task, give yourself 5 minutes to make a plan and then begin. The act of starting, even imperfectly, often clarifies what needs to be done next. As the Stoics would say, action is the antidote to doubt. Another helpful strategy is to focus on the process rather than the outcome. Overthinking often stems from a fear of failure or a desire for perfection. But Stoicism teaches us that the value lies in the effort itself, not just the result. By shifting your focus to doing your best in the present moment, you can free yourself from the pressure to be perfect and simply take the next step. It's also worth remembering that not every decision requires extensive analysis. For smaller tasks, trust your instincts and act quickly. The Stoics believed in cultivating wisdom, but they also recognized that overanalyzing every detail can lead to unnecessary delays. Sometimes good enough is truly good enough. To put this rule into practice, try this exercise. The next time you catch yourself overthinking, pause and ask, what's the simplest action I can take right now? Then do it, whether it's drafting the first sentence of a report, making a phone call, or organizing your workspace. Taking that first step can help you regain focus and move forward. Avoiding overthinking doesn't mean ignoring important details or rushing into decisions. It's about finding a balance between thoughtful planning and decisive action. By embracing this Stoic principle, you'll find it easier to break free from the mental traps that lead to procrastination and instead make steady progress toward your goals. As we move forward, the next rule will explore how practicing gratitude can shift your mindset and further reduce procrastination by fostering a positive and motivated outlook. By combining action with appreciation, you'll create a powerful foundation for sustained productivity. Now, let's shift our focus to the 12th rule, practicing gratitude. Gratitude might not be the first thing that comes to mind when you think about overcoming procrastination, but the Stoics believed it to be a powerful tool for transforming your mindset. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift your attention from what you lack or fear to what you already have and can achieve. This simple shift can create a ripple effect, fostering a positive attitude that makes it easier to take action and stay motivated. At its core, gratitude is about recognizing the value in the present moment. Instead of dreading a task or focusing on how difficult it might be, you can choose to appreciate the opportunity to grow and contribute. For example, rather than viewing a work project as a burden, you can remind yourself of the skills you're developing or the impact your efforts will have. This reframing not only reduces resistance but also infuses your work with a sense of purpose. One practical way to practice gratitude is to start your day by listing 3 things you're grateful for. These don't have to be grand or life-changing. They can be as simple as a good night's sleep, a supportive colleague, or even the chance to learn something new. By beginning your day with this positive focus, you set the tone for a more productive and proactive mindset. Another effective strategy is to incorporate gratitude into your work routine. Before starting a task, take a moment to reflect on why it matters. Maybe it's a chance to improve your skills, contribute to a larger goal, or provide for your family. When you connect your work to something meaningful, it becomes less about avoiding discomfort and more about embracing opportunity. The Stoics also emphasized the importance of gratitude in overcoming challenges. When faced with a difficult task, instead of complaining or procrastinating, try to see it as a chance to strengthen your resilience and character. As Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The impediment to action advances action." What stands in the way becomes the way. By practicing gratitude, you can transform obstacles into stepping stones, making it easier to take the first step and keep moving forward. To put this rule into practice, try this simple exercise. At the end of each day, write down one thing you accomplished and one thing you're grateful for. This reflection not only reinforces a sense of achievement, but also helps you approach the next day with a more positive and motivated outlook. Practicing gratitude doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. It's about finding balance, acknowledging challenges while also appreciating the opportunities they bring. By making gratitude a daily habit, you'll find it easier to overcome procrastination and approach your tasks with enthusiasm and clarity. As we move forward, the next rule will explore how limiting distractions can further enhance your focus and productivity, creating an environment where you can thrive. By combining gratitude with intentional action, you'll build a mindset that not only reduces procrastination but also fosters lasting growth and fulfillment. Now let's turn our attention to the 13th rule, limiting distractions. In a world filled with constant notifications, endless to-do lists, and the temptation to multitask, the Stoic approach to productivity offers a refreshing perspective. At its heart, this rule is about reclaiming your focus by eliminating what pulls you away from what truly matters. The Stoics understood that distractions don't just waste time. They fragment your attention, making it harder to think clearly and act decisively. One of the key principles here is focusing on one task at a time. The Stoics believed that dividing your attention between multiple tasks dilutes your energy and effectiveness. Instead of trying to do everything at once, they advocated for giving your full attention to the task in front of you. This might sound simple, but in practice, it requires discipline and intentionality. For example, if you're working on a report, close unnecessary tabs, silence your phone, and resist the urge to check emails every few minutes. By immersing yourself fully in the task, you'll not only complete it more efficiently, but also with greater satisfaction. Creating an environment conducive to productivity is another essential aspect of this rule. The Stoics emphasized the importance of controlling your surroundings to support your goals. This could mean decluttering your workspace, setting boundaries with others, or even choosing specific times of the day when you're least likely to be interrupted. The idea is to remove external obstacles so you can focus on what's within your control, your actions, and your mindset. A practical way to apply this rule is to start your day by identifying your most important task and dedicating a block of time to it without distractions. Use tools like timers or apps to help you stay on track and resist the urge to switch tasks midway. If you find yourself tempted by distractions, remind yourself of the Stoic principle that true progress comes from consistent, focused effort. The Stoics also recognized that some distractions come from within our own thoughts and emotions. Worrying about the future, dwelling on the past, or overthinking decisions can pull us away from the present moment. To combat this, they encouraged mindfulness and self-awareness. When you notice your mind wandering, gently bring it back to the task at hand. This practice not only improves productivity, but also cultivates a sense of calm and clarity. By limiting distractions, you create space for deep work and meaningful progress. It's not about perfection, it's about making small, intentional choices that align with your priorities. As Seneca wisely noted, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. By minimizing distractions, you reclaim your time and energy, allowing you to focus on what truly matters. As we move forward, the next rule will explore how taking responsibility for your actions can further strengthen your ability to overcome procrastination. By combining focus with accountability, you'll build a foundation for lasting productivity and growth. Now, let's shift our focus to the 14th rule, taking responsibility. This principle lies at the core of Stoic philosophy and serves as a powerful tool for overcoming procrastination. The Stoics believed that true freedom comes from accepting full responsibility for your actions, choices, and even your thoughts. When you stop blaming external circumstances or other people for your delays, you reclaim control over your life and your time. Taking responsibility means acknowledging that procrastination is not caused by a lack of time, resources, or opportunities. It's a result of your own decisions. This might sound harsh, but it's also empowering. By owning your choices, you eliminate the excuses that keep you stuck in a cycle of inaction. For instance, instead of saying, "I didn't have time to finish the project," you might reflect, "I chose to prioritize other tasks over this one." This shift in perspective helps you identify where you can improve and take actionable steps to do better next time. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of aligning your actions with your values. When you take responsibility, you're forced to confront whether your choices reflect what truly matters to you. Are you spending your time on things that align with your goals, or are you letting distractions and excuses steer you off course? By holding yourself accountable, you create a sense of urgency and purpose that drives you to act. A practical way to apply this rule is to start each day by setting clear intentions. Ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish today, and how will I ensure I follow through? At the end of the day, reflect on your progress. Did you take responsibility for your actions, or did you let excuses take over? This daily practice not only builds self-awareness but also strengthens your ability to stay committed to your goals. Another key aspect of taking responsibility is learning to embrace discomfort. The Stoics understood that growth often requires stepping outside your comfort zone. Instead of avoiding difficult tasks, face them head-on. Remind yourself that the discomfort of starting is far less than the regret of not trying at all. By taking responsibility for your actions, you build resilience and confidence, making it easier to tackle challenges in the future. Ultimately, this rule is about cultivating a mindset of ownership. When you stop waiting for the perfect moment or blaming others for your delays, you take charge of your life. As Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." By taking responsibility, you transform procrastination into productivity, one intentional choice at a time. As we move forward, the next rule will explore how visualizing success can further motivate you to take action and overcome procrastination. By combining responsibility with a clear vision of your goals, you'll create a powerful framework for achieving lasting results. Now, let's turn our attention to the 15th rule, visualizing success. This powerful Stoic practice taps into the mind's ability to shape reality through imagination. When you vividly picture yourself completing a task successfully, you create a mental blueprint that guides your actions and fuels your motivation. Visualization isn't just wishful thinking. It's a deliberate exercise that aligns your thoughts with your goals, making it easier to overcome procrastination and take meaningful steps forward. The Stoics understood that the mind is a powerful tool. By visualizing success, you activate a sense of purpose and clarity that cuts through the fog of hesitation. Imagine for a moment the satisfaction of finishing a project you've been putting off. Picture the relief, the pride, and the sense of accomplishment that comes with it. This mental image serves as a reminder of why the task matters and why it's worth your effort. It shifts your focus from the discomfort of starting to the rewards of finishing, making the first step feel less daunting. Visualization also helps you break down barriers created by fear or self-doubt. When you see yourself succeeding, you begin to believe it's possible. This belief is crucial because procrastination often stems from a lack of confidence in your ability to complete a task. By repeatedly visualizing success, you build a mental habit of expecting positive outcomes, which in turn strengthens your resolve to act. A practical way to incorporate this rule into your daily routine is to spend a few minutes each morning imagining the successful completion of your most important task. Close your eyes and picture every detail, how it feels to finish, the steps you took to get there, and the impact it has on your life. This exercise not only boosts your motivation, but also helps you identify potential obstacles and plan how to overcome them. Another benefit of visualization is its ability to create a sense of urgency. When you see the end result clearly, you're more likely to prioritize the task and take action. It's like having a mental deadline that keeps you focused and driven. The Stoics believe that clarity of purpose is essential for productivity, and visualization provides exactly that. Of course, visualization alone isn't enough. It must be paired with action. The Stoics emphasize the importance of aligning your thoughts with your deeds. Use the energy and clarity gained from visualizing success to take the first step, no matter how small. Remember, progress is built one action at a time, and each step brings you closer to your goal. As we move forward, the next rule will explore the Stoic principle of delayed gratification and how it can help you build the patience and discipline needed to overcome procrastination. By combining visualization with a commitment to long-term rewards, you'll create a powerful strategy for achieving your goals. Now, let's shift our focus to the 16th rule, practicing delayed gratification. This Stoic principle is all about resisting the temptation of immediate rewards in favor of long-term benefits. It's a powerful tool for overcoming procrastination because it trains your mind to prioritize what truly matters over what feels good in the moment. The Stoics believe that true freedom comes from mastering your desires, not being ruled by them. Delayed gratification is a way to exercise this mastery. When you choose to delay pleasure, whether it's scrolling through social media, indulging in distractions, or avoiding a difficult task, you strengthen your self-discipline and build the patience needed to tackle challenges head-on. Think of delayed gratification as an investment in your future self. Every time you resist the urge to procrastinate and instead focus on a task that aligns with your goals, you're planting seeds for long-term success. This practice helps you break the cycle of instant gratification, which often leads to regret and unfulfilled potential. A practical way to apply this rule is to set small, manageable goals that require you to delay rewards. For example, if you're working on a project, commit to completing a specific portion before allowing yourself a break or a treat. This approach not only keeps you focused but also reinforces the habit of prioritizing meaningful work over fleeting distractions. Delayed gratification also teaches you to find satisfaction in the process rather than just the outcome. The Stoics emphasize the importance of enjoying the journey, not just the destination. When you learn to appreciate the effort and growth that come from working on challenging tasks, procrastination loses its grip. You begin to see the value in taking consistent action even when it's uncomfortable. Another benefit of this practice is that it builds resilience. By repeatedly choosing long-term rewards over short-term pleasures, you develop the mental toughness needed to persevere through difficulties. This resilience is key to overcoming procrastination, as it helps you stay committed to your goals even when the path feels tough. Of course, practicing delayed gratification doesn't mean denying yourself all enjoyment. It's about finding balance and making intentional choices that align with your values and priorities. The Stoics understood that life is richer when you pursue what truly matters, even if it requires patience and effort. As we move forward, the next rule will explore the importance of reflecting on your progress and how it can help you maintain momentum in your journey to overcome procrastination. By combining delayed gratification with regular reflection, you'll create a powerful framework for achieving your goals and living a more purposeful life. Now let's turn our attention to the 17th rule, reflecting on your progress. This Stoic practice is about taking a step back to evaluate how far you've come, rather than just focusing on how far you have to go. Regular reflection helps you maintain momentum by reminding you of the progress you've already made, which can be incredibly motivating when procrastination tries to creep in. The Stoics understood the importance of self-awareness. By reflecting on your actions and achievements, you gain clarity about what's working and what needs adjustment. This process not only boosts your confidence but also helps you identify patterns that might be holding you back. When you see tangible evidence of your efforts paying off, it becomes easier to stay committed to your goals. One practical way to incorporate this rule into your life is to set aside time at the end of each day or week to review what you've accomplished. Ask yourself questions like, what tasks did I complete? Or what challenges did I overcome? This simple habit creates a sense of achievement and reinforces the value of consistent effort. Reflecting on your progress also helps you celebrate small wins, which is crucial for maintaining motivation. The Stoics believed that even the smallest steps forward are worth acknowledging because they contribute to the bigger picture. When you take the time to recognize these victories, you build a positive feedback loop that encourages you to keep going, even when the work feels tough. Another benefit of this practice is that it helps you stay aligned with your purpose. By regularly assessing your progress, you can ensure that your actions are moving you closer to your goals. If you notice that certain tasks aren't contributing to your overall vision, you can adjust your approach and refocus your energy on what truly matters. Reflection also serves as a powerful antidote to perfectionism, a common cause of procrastination. When you look back at what you've achieved, you realize that progress doesn't require perfection, it only requires consistent effort. This mindset shift can free you from the fear of failure and make it easier to take action, even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. As we move forward, the next rule will explore the dangers of multitasking and how focusing on one task at a time can significantly reduce procrastination. By combining regular reflection with mindful focus, you'll create a powerful strategy for staying on track and achieving your goals with greater ease. Now, let's shift our focus to the 18th rule, avoiding multitasking. The Stoics were firm believers in the power of single-minded focus. They understood that spreading your attention across multiple tasks at once not only dilutes your effectiveness but also opens the door to procrastination. When you try to do too many things at the same time, you end up accomplishing less, and the quality of your work suffers. Multitasking might feel productive in the moment, but it often leads to mental fatigue and a sense of overwhelm. The Stoic approach is to tackle one task at a time, giving it your full attention until it's complete. This method not only improves efficiency, but also helps you stay present, reducing the temptation to procrastinate. When you focus on a single task, you're able to immerse yourself in it fully, which makes the work feel more manageable and less daunting. Think about it this way: when you're juggling multiple tasks, your brain is constantly switching gears, which takes time and energy. Each time you shift your focus, you lose momentum and have to reorient yourself, which slows you down. By contrast, focusing on one task allows you to build momentum and maintain a steady rhythm, making it easier to stay on track and avoid distractions. The Stoics also recognized that multitasking often stems from a desire to avoid discomfort. When a task feels challenging or tedious, it's tempting to distract yourself with something else. But this only prolongs the inevitable and makes the task feel even harder. By committing to one task at a time, you train yourself to face discomfort head-on, building resilience and reducing the urge to procrastinate. To put this rule into practice, start by prioritizing your tasks and tackling them one by one. Set clear boundaries to minimize distractions, whether that means turning off notifications, closing unnecessary tabs, or finding a quiet workspace. When you give each task your undivided attention, you'll find that you complete it more quickly and with better results. Another benefit of avoiding multitasking is that it allows you to fully engage with the process of your work. The Stoics believed in finding joy and meaning in the act of doing, rather than just focusing on the outcome. When you're fully present with a task, you're more likely to enjoy the process, which makes it easier to stay motivated and avoid procrastination. As we move forward, the next rule will explore how embracing challenges can transform your approach to difficult tasks, helping you see them as opportunities for growth rather than obstacles to avoid. By combining single-minded focus with a mindset of resilience, you'll create a powerful strategy for overcoming procrastination and achieving your goals with greater ease. Now, let's turn our attention to the 19th rule, embracing challenges. The Stoics had a unique perspective on difficulties. They saw them not as obstacles to avoid, but as opportunities to grow stronger and wiser. This mindset shift is incredibly powerful when it comes to overcoming procrastination. When you view a challenging task as a chance to develop your skills or character, it becomes less about avoiding discomfort and more about embracing the chance to improve. Think about it, procrastination often stems from fear of failure, fear of discomfort, or even fear of the unknown. But the Stoics remind us that challenges are an inevitable part of life, and avoiding them only delays the growth they bring. By reframing difficult tasks as valuable experiences, you can transform your relationship with them. Instead of dreading a tough project, you can approach it with curiosity and determination, knowing that it's an opportunity to learn and grow. One way to apply this rule is to ask yourself, what can I gain from this challenge? Whether it's building resilience, learning a new skill, or simply proving to yourself that you can handle tough situations, there's always something to be gained. This shift in perspective makes the task feel less like a burden and more like a stepping stone toward becoming the best version of yourself. The Stoics also emphasize the importance of preparation. When you know a challenge is coming, take the time to mentally prepare yourself. Visualize yourself tackling the task with confidence and focus. Remind yourself that discomfort is temporary, but the growth you gain from facing it will last. This kind of mental rehearsal can help you approach challenges with a sense of purpose rather than dread. Another key aspect of embracing challenges is recognizing that they are a natural part of progress. If everything were easy, there would be no opportunity to grow. The Stoics believed that true strength comes from facing adversity head-on, not from avoiding it. By accepting this, you can stop seeing challenges as roadblocks and start seeing them as milestones on your journey towards self-improvement. To put this rule into practice, start by identifying one task you've been avoiding because it feels too difficult. Break it down into smaller, manageable steps and approach each one with the mindset that it's an opportunity to grow. Celebrate small victories along the way and remind yourself that every step forward is a step toward becoming more capable and resilient. As we move forward, the next rule will explore how practicing mindfulness can help you stay focused and present, further reducing the temptation to procrastinate. By combining the Stoic approach to challenges with a mindful awareness of the present moment, you'll create a powerful strategy for staying motivated and productive. Now, let's shift our focus to the 20th rule, practicing mindfulness. Mindfulness is a cornerstone of Stoic philosophy, and it plays a crucial role in helping you stay focused and present. When your mind is fully engaged in the task at hand, procrastination loses its grip. Instead of getting caught up in distractions or worrying about future outcomes, mindfulness teaches you to anchor yourself in the present moment. Procrastination often thrives when your mind wanders when you're thinking about how difficult a task might be, how much time it will take, or what could go wrong. Mindfulness interrupts this cycle by bringing your attention back to what you're doing right now. It's about observing your thoughts without judgment and gently guiding your focus back to the task. This simple yet powerful practice can help you break free from the mental traps that lead to procrastination. One way to practice mindfulness is to start your day with a few moments of quiet reflection. Sit in a comfortable position, close your eyes, and take a few deep breaths. Notice the sensations in your body, the rhythm of your breathing, and the thoughts passing through your mind. This brief exercise can help you cultivate a sense of calm and clarity, setting the tone for a focused and productive day. Another practical way to incorporate mindfulness into your work is to use the one thing at a time approach. Instead of trying to multitask or juggle multiple responsibilities, give your full attention to one task. When you notice your mind starting to drift, gently bring it back to what you're doing. This not only improves your efficiency, but also reduces the mental fatigue that often comes with trying to do too much at once. The Stoics believed that mindfulness was essential for living a virtuous life. By staying present, you can make better decisions, act with intention, and avoid the distractions that pull you away from your goals. Mindfulness also helps you recognize when you're procrastinating. Instead of ignoring the urge to delay, you can acknowledge it, understand why it's happening, and take steps to address it. To put this rule into practice, try setting aside a few minutes each day to focus solely on your breath or a simple activity like drinking a cup of tea. Pay attention to the sensations, smells, and tastes, and let go of any thoughts about the past or future. Over time, this practice will help you develop the ability to stay present, even when faced with challenging tasks. As we move forward, the next rule will explore the importance of setting realistic goals, another key Stoic principle that can help you stay motivated and avoid the overwhelm that often leads to procrastination. By combining mindfulness with clear, achievable goals, you'll create a powerful framework for staying on track and making consistent progress. Now, let's turn our attention to the 21st rule, setting realistic goals. Stoicism teaches us that one of the most effective ways to combat procrastination is by setting goals that are both meaningful and attainable. When your goals are too ambitious or vague, it's easy to feel overwhelmed, which can lead to avoidance and delay. But when you set realistic, well-defined goals, you create a clear path forward that makes it easier to take action. The Stoics believed in aligning your goals with what is within your control. Instead of aiming for outcomes that depend on external factors, focus on the effort and intention you put into your tasks. For example, rather than setting a goal to become the best in your field, which depends on others' opinions and circumstances, aim to dedicate 2 hours each day to improving your skills. This shift in focus not only makes your goals more achievable, but also reduces the pressure and fear of failure that often lead to procrastination. Another key aspect of setting realistic goals is breaking them down into smaller, manageable steps. If your goal feels too large or distant, it's easy to put it off. But when you divide it into smaller tasks, each step becomes more approachable. For instance, if your goal is to write a book, start by committing to writing just 1 page a day. Over time, these small, consistent efforts add up, and you'll find yourself making steady progress without feeling overwhelmed. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and sometimes circumstances change in ways we can't control. If you find that a goal is no longer realistic, don't be afraid to adjust it. The Stoics understood that clinging rigidly to a plan can lead to frustration and procrastination. Instead, adapt your goals as needed and focus on what you can do in the present moment. To put this rule into practice, take some time to reflect on your current goals. Are they specific, achievable, and within your control? If not, consider revising them to make them more realistic. Write down the steps you need to take to achieve each goal and commit to working on them consistently. Remember, progress doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. Even small steps forward can build momentum and help you overcome procrastination. As we move forward, the next rule will explore how learning from failure can help you stay motivated and resilient, even when things don't go as planned. By combining realistic goal setting with a mindset that embraces challenges, you'll create a strong foundation for sustained productivity and growth. Now, let's shift our focus to the 22nd rule, learning from failure. Stoicism teaches us that failure is not something to fear or avoid, but rather an opportunity to grow and improve. When we view failure as a natural part of the learning process, it removes the paralyzing pressure to be perfect, which is often a major cause of procrastination. Instead of seeing failure as a reflection of your worth, the Stoics encourage you to see it as feedback, a chance to refine your approach and move forward with greater wisdom. Think about it this way: every time you fail, you gain valuable insights that can help you do better next time. The Stoics believe that failure is not the opposite of success, but a stepping stone toward it. For example, if you set a goal to complete a project and fall short, instead of beating yourself up or avoiding the task altogether, take a moment to reflect. What went wrong? What could you do differently next time? By asking these questions, you turn failure into a tool for growth rather than a reason to give up. This mindset shift is incredibly powerful when it comes to overcoming procrastination. When you're not afraid of failing, you're more likely to take action, even if the outcome is uncertain. You stop waiting for the perfect moment or the perfect plan, and instead you start making progress, knowing that even if things don't go as planned, you'll learn something valuable along the way. To put this rule into practice, try reframing your relationship with failure. Instead of seeing it as a setback, see it as a teacher. When you encounter obstacles or make mistakes, take a Stoic approach by asking yourself, what can I learn from this? Write down your reflections and use them to adjust your strategy moving forward. Over time, this habit will help you build resilience and reduce the fear of failure that often holds you back. As we continue, the next rule will explore how prioritizing virtue over comfort can help you stay focused on what truly matters, even when the path ahead feels challenging. By embracing failure as a teacher and aligning your actions with your values, you'll find it easier to take consistent, purposeful steps toward your goals. Now, let's turn our attention to the 23rd rule, prioritizing virtue over comfort. Stoicism teaches us that true fulfillment comes not from seeking ease or pleasure, but from living in alignment with our values and purpose. When we prioritize virtue qualities like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-discipline, we naturally shift our focus away from short-term comfort and toward actions that have lasting meaning. This mindset is a powerful antidote to procrastination because it helps us see our tasks not as burdens, but as opportunities to live out our principles. Think about it: when you're faced with a challenging task, it's easy to put it off in favor of something more comfortable or enjoyable. But Stoicism reminds us that comfort is fleeting, while the satisfaction of acting with integrity and purpose endures. For example, instead of scrolling through social media to avoid starting a difficult project, ask yourself, what would a virtuous person do in this situation? The answer is almost always to take action, even when it's uncomfortable, because that's how we grow and contribute to something greater than ourselves. This rule doesn't mean you should never rest or enjoy life. Rather, it's about recognizing when comfort is holding you back from what truly matters. By aligning your daily tasks with your deeper values, you create a sense of purpose that makes it easier to overcome procrastination. When you see your work as a reflection of your character and a step toward your goals, you're more likely to take consistent action even when it's hard. To put this into practice, start by identifying your core values. What qualities do you admire most in yourself and others? How can you bring those virtues into your daily tasks? For instance, if you value discipline, commit to starting your work at the same time each day. If you value courage, tackle the most challenging task first. Over time, these small acts of virtue will build momentum and make procrastination feel less appealing. As we move forward, the next rule will explore how daily reflection can help you stay on track and identify the habits that lead to procrastination. By prioritizing virtue over comfort, you'll not only overcome procrastination, but also live a life that feels deeply meaningful and aligned with your highest ideals. Now, let's shift our focus to the 24th rule, practicing daily reflection. Stoicism places great importance on self-awareness, and one of the most effective ways to cultivate this is by taking time each day to reflect on your actions, decisions, and habits. This practice isn't just about looking back, it's about learning and growing so you can make better choices moving forward. When it comes to overcoming procrastination, daily reflection helps you identify the patterns and triggers that lead to delay, giving you the insight needed to address them head-on. Imagine ending your day by asking yourself a few simple but powerful questions. What tasks did I put off today, and why? What distractions pulled me away from my priorities? Did I act in alignment with my values, or did I let comfort take the lead? These questions aren't meant to make you feel guilty, they're tools for understanding. By regularly examining your behavior, you'll start to notice recurring themes, like certain tasks that always seem daunting or specific times of day when your focus tends to waver. Once you've identified these patterns, you can develop strategies to work around them. For example, if you realize you often procrastinate on tasks that feel overwhelming, you might break them into smaller, more manageable steps. If you notice that social media distracts you during the afternoon, you could set boundaries like turning off notifications or scheduling a specific time to check your phone. The key is to use your reflections as a springboard for action, not just passive observation. Over time, this practice will help you build self-discipline and make procrastination less of a habit and more of an exception. Daily reflection also reinforces the Stoic principle of living intentionally. By regularly assessing your actions, you're reminded of what truly matters to you and how your daily choices align or don't align with your goals. This awareness creates a sense of accountability, making it harder to justify putting things off. It's like having a gentle but firm conversation with yourself, where you celebrate your progress and acknowledge areas for improvement without judgment. As we move forward, the next rule will delve into the importance of avoiding comparison with others, a habit that can often fuel procrastination by creating unnecessary pressure or complacency. By practicing daily reflection, you'll not only gain clarity on your own habits, but also build the self-awareness needed to stay focused on your unique path. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress, one thoughtful reflection at a time. Now, let's turn our attention to the 25th rule, avoiding comparison. Stoicism teaches us that one of the most significant barriers to productivity and focus is the habit of measuring ourselves against others. When we constantly compare our progress, achievements, or even our struggles to those of others, we risk falling into two traps: feelings of inadequacy or a false sense of complacency. Both can fuel procrastination in different ways. When you feel inadequate because someone else seems to be achieving more or moving faster, it's easy to become discouraged. You might start doubting your abilities, thinking, "Why even try if I'll never measure up?" This mindset can paralyze you, making it harder to start or complete tasks. On the other hand, if you compare yourself to someone who seems to be doing less, you might feel complacent, thinking, "I'm doing better than them, so I can afford to take it easy." This can lead to laziness and a lack of urgency, both of which feed procrastination. Stoicism reminds us that the only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Your journey is unique, and your progress should be measured against your own goals and values, not someone else's. By focusing on your own path, you free yourself from the distractions of comparison and create a clearer sense of purpose. This shift in mindset helps you stay motivated and focused on what truly matters to you, rather than getting caught up in external benchmarks. To put this into practice, start by identifying moments when you catch yourself comparing your work or life to others. Ask yourself, is this comparison helping me grow, or is it holding me back? If it's the latter, reframe your thoughts. Instead of thinking, "They're so much better at this than I am," try, "What can I learn from their approach, and how can I apply it to my own work?" This way, you turn comparison into inspiration rather than a source of procrastination. Another Stoic strategy is to remind yourself that everyone's journey is different. What works for someone else might not work for you, and that's okay. Your focus should be on making consistent progress, no matter how small, rather than trying to match someone else's pace. By letting go of comparison, you'll find it easier to take action and stay committed to your goals. As we move forward, the next rule will explore the importance of focusing on the process rather than the outcome, a mindset that can further reduce procrastination by making work more enjoyable and meaningful. By avoiding comparison, you'll not only protect your mental energy but also create a healthier, more productive relationship with your tasks. Remember, your journey is yours alone, and every step you take is a victory worth celebrating. Now, let's shift our focus to the 26th rule, focusing on the process, not the outcome. Stoicism teaches us that one of the most effective ways to overcome procrastination is to shift our attention away from the end result and instead immerse ourselves in the journey of getting there. When we fixate too much on the outcome, whether it's a perfect finished product, a specific goal, or external validation, we often create unnecessary pressure that can paralyze us. This pressure can make tasks feel overwhelming, leading us to delay or avoid them altogether. Stoicism encourages us to find joy and meaning in the process itself. By focusing on the steps we're taking, the skills we're building, and the effort we're putting in, we can transform even the most mundane tasks into opportunities for growth and fulfillment. This mindset shift not only reduces the anxiety associated with perfectionism, but also makes the work itself more enjoyable. When you're no longer obsessing over the final result, you're free to engage fully with the present moment, which is where real progress happens. Think of it this way: if you're writing a book, instead of worrying about whether it will become a bestseller, focus on the act of writing itself. Enjoy the process of crafting sentences, developing characters, and exploring ideas. When you're absorbed in the process, the work becomes less about achieving a distant goal and more about the satisfaction of creating something meaningful in the here and now. This approach not only makes the task more enjoyable but also helps you stay consistent, as you're no longer waiting for external validation to feel accomplished. To apply this Stoic principle, start by breaking your tasks into smaller, manageable steps. Instead of thinking about the final outcome, concentrate on completing each step to the best of your ability. Celebrate the small wins along the way, whether it's finishing a paragraph, solving a problem, or simply showing up to do the work. By focusing on the process, you'll find that procrastination naturally diminishes because the work itself becomes its own reward. Another practical tip is to remind yourself that the outcome is often beyond your control. Stoicism teaches us to accept this reality and focus instead on what we can control: our effort, our attitude, and our commitment to the task at hand. When you detach from the need for a specific result, you free yourself from the fear of failure or disappointment, which are common triggers for procrastination. As we move forward, the next rule will explore the Stoic virtue of patience and how it helps us stay committed to long-term goals, even when progress feels slow. By focusing on the process, you'll not only reduce procrastination but also cultivate a deeper sense of satisfaction and purpose in your work. Remember, the journey is where the magic happens, so embrace it fully and let the outcomes take care of themselves. Now, let's turn our attention to the 27th rule, practicing patience. In a world that often prioritizes instant results, Stoicism reminds us of the profound value of patience, a virtue that can transform how we approach our goals and, in turn, reduce procrastination. Patience isn't just about waiting, it's about maintaining a steady, disciplined focus on what truly matters, even when progress feels slow or obstacles arise. This Stoic principle teaches us to embrace the natural rhythm of growth and effort, rather than rushing toward outcomes or giving up when things don't happen as quickly as we'd like. When we lack patience, we're more likely to procrastinate because the distance between where we are and where we want to be can feel overwhelming. we might convince ourselves that the effort isn't worth it or that we'll never reach our goals. But Stoicism encourages us to shift our perspective. Instead of fixating on the end result, we're reminded to appreciate the incremental steps we take each day. Patience allows us to see that every small action contributes to the bigger picture, even if the results aren't immediately visible. Think of patience as a form of trust in the process, trust in your abilities, and trust in the time it takes to achieve something meaningful. For example, if you're learning a new skill, like playing an instrument or mastering a language, progress might feel slow at first. But by practicing patience, you can stay committed to the daily effort, knowing that each practice session brings you closer to your goal. This mindset not only reduces the temptation to procrastinate, but also helps you build resilience and confidence over time. To apply this Stoic rule, start by setting realistic expectations for yourself. Understand that meaningful progress often requires consistent effort over an extended period. Break your long-term goals into smaller, manageable milestones and celebrate each one as a sign of forward movement. When you feel impatient, remind yourself that growth is a gradual process and that every step you take is valuable, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. Another practical way to cultivate patience is to reflect on the Stoic idea of impermanence. Everything in life, both the challenges and the rewards, is temporary. By accepting this truth, you can approach your goals with a sense of calm and perspective, knowing that the difficulties you face today will eventually pass. This mindset helps you stay focused and committed, even when the journey feels long or uncertain. As we prepare to explore the next rule, remember that patience is not just a virtue, it's a powerful tool for overcoming procrastination. By embracing the slow and steady path, you'll find that your efforts become more sustainable, your goals more attainable, and your sense of fulfillment deeper. Stay committed, trust the process, and let patience guide you toward lasting progress. Now, let's shift our focus to the 28th rule, simplifying your life. Stoicism teaches us that a cluttered life filled with distractions, unnecessary commitments, and endless to-do lists can be a major source of procrastination. When we're overwhelmed by too many choices or obligations, it becomes harder to focus on what truly matters. Simplifying your life, as the Stoics advocate, is about cutting through the noise and prioritizing what aligns with your values and goals. By doing so, you create space for meaningful action and reduce the mental burden that often leads to procrastination. Think about it this way: every time you say yes to something that doesn't truly matter, you're saying no to something that does. Whether it's a social obligation, a project that doesn't inspire you, or even a habit that drains your energy, these distractions pull you away from your priorities. Stoicism encourages us to be intentional about how we spend our time and energy. It's not about doing more, it's about doing what's essential. When you simplify your life, you remove the barriers that stand between you and your goals, making it easier to take action and stay focused. One practical way to apply this rule is to conduct a regular audit of your commitments. Ask yourself, does this activity or responsibility align with my values? Does it bring me closer to my goals? If the answer is no, it might be time to let it go. This doesn't mean you have to eliminate everything that isn't directly tied to your ambitions, but it does mean being honest about what truly deserves your attention. By decluttering your schedule, you create more room for the tasks that matter most, reducing the temptation to procrastinate. Another aspect of simplifying your life is creating an environment that supports focus and productivity. This could mean organizing your workspace, limiting digital distractions, or even setting boundaries with people who demand too much of your time. The Stoics believed that external order often reflects internal clarity. When your surroundings are calm and purposeful, it becomes easier to maintain a clear mind and take consistent action toward your goals. Finally, remember that simplifying your life is an ongoing process, not a one-time event. As your priorities evolve, so too should your commitments. Regularly revisiting what matters most helps you stay aligned with your values and prevents procrastination from creeping back in. By embracing simplicity, you'll find that your efforts become more intentional, your focus sharper, and your progress more consistent. As we move forward, keep in mind that simplifying your life isn't about sacrificing joy or fulfillment, it's about creating the space to pursue what truly matters. By eliminating distractions and focusing on your priorities, you'll find it easier to overcome procrastination and stay committed to your goals. Now, let's explore how building a routine can further strengthen your ability to take consistent action. Now, let's turn our attention to the 29th rule, building a routine. Stoicism teaches us that consistency is key to overcoming procrastination. When we establish a routine, we create a framework that guides our actions and decisions, making it easier to stay on track. A routine isn't just about filling your day with tasks, it's about designing a structure that aligns with your values and goals, ensuring that you're consistently moving forward. Think of a routine as a set of guardrails that keep you focused and productive. Without it, each day can feel like a blank slate, leaving you vulnerable to distractions and indecision. But when you have a clear plan in place, you eliminate the need to constantly decide what to do next. This reduces the mental energy wasted on hesitation and makes it easier to take action, even when motivation is low. The Stoics understood that discipline isn't about willpower alone. It's about creating habits that support your long-term goals. One of the most powerful aspects of a routine is its ability to turn effort into habit. When you repeat the same actions consistently, they become automatic over time. For example, if you dedicate the first hour of your day to a specific task like writing or exercising, it eventually becomes second nature. You no longer have to wrestle with the decision to start, you simply do it. This is how routines help you build momentum and reduce the temptation to procrastinate. To create an effective routine, start by identifying the tasks that are most important to your goals. These are the activities that deserve a fixed place in your schedule. Next, consider your energy levels throughout the day and assign tasks accordingly. For instance, if you're most focused in the morning, use that time for your most demanding work. By aligning your routine with your natural rhythms, you'll find it easier to stay consistent and productive. It's also important to leave room for flexibility. Life is unpredictable, and rigid routines can sometimes backfire, leading to frustration or burnout. The Stoics remind us to approach our routines with a sense of balance, committing to our plans while remaining adaptable when circumstances change. This mindset helps you stay resilient and focused even when things don't go as planned. Finally, remember that building a routine is a gradual process. Start small, focusing on 1 or 2 habits at a time, and gradually expand as you gain confidence. Over time, your routine will become a powerful tool for overcoming procrastination, helping you stay aligned with your priorities and make steady progress toward your goals. As we wrap up this section, consider how a well-designed routine can transform your approach to productivity. By creating structure and consistency, you'll find it easier to take action, stay focused, and achieve your goals. Now, let's explore the final rule, which ties everything together, remembering your purpose. Now, let's turn to the final and perhaps most profound rule, remembering your purpose. Stoicism teaches us that aligning our actions with a deeper sense of purpose is one of the most powerful ways to overcome procrastination. When we connect our daily tasks to a greater goal, they become more meaningful, and the motivation to act naturally follows. Purpose gives us direction, clarity, and a reason to push through challenges, even when the work feels difficult or tedious. Think of purpose as the compass that guides your decisions and actions. Without it, tasks can feel arbitrary or disconnected, making it easy to put them off. But when you understand why something matters, how it contributes to your long-term goals or aligns with your values, it becomes harder to ignore. The Stoics believed that living with purpose is essential to a fulfilling life, And this principle applies directly to overcoming procrastination. When you know your why, your how becomes much clearer. One way to connect with your purpose is to regularly reflect on your core values and long-term aspirations. Ask yourself, what do I truly care about? What kind of person do I want to become? How does this task fit into the bigger picture? By answering these questions, you can infuse even the smallest actions with meaning. For example, if your purpose is to become a better writer, every hour spent writing or researching becomes a step toward that goal. This sense of progress can be incredibly motivating, helping you stay focused and committed. Another Stoic practice that reinforces purpose is daily reflection. At the end of each day, take a few moments to review your actions and ask yourself whether they aligned with your values and goals. This simple habit not only keeps you accountable but also helps you stay connected to your purpose. Over time, this alignment becomes second nature, making it easier to prioritize what truly matters and let go of distractions. It's also important to recognize that purpose isn't static. It can evolve as you grow and change. The Stoics remind us to remain open to new insights and experiences, allowing our sense of purpose to adapt over time. This flexibility ensures that your actions remain meaningful and relevant, even as your circumstances shift. By staying attuned to your purpose, you can navigate life's challenges with resilience and clarity. As we conclude this exploration of the 30 Stoic rules for overcoming procrastination, remember that purpose is the thread that ties everything together. It's the foundation that gives structure to your routines, meaning to your tasks, and motivation to your actions. By aligning your daily efforts with your deeper goals, you can transform procrastination into productivity and create a life that reflects your truest values. Thank you for joining me on this journey through Stoic wisdom. If you found these insights helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Until next time, stay focused, stay purposeful, and keep moving forward. As we wrap up this journey through the 30 Stoic rules for overcoming procrastination, let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. These principles aren't just philosophical ideas, they're practical tools designed to help you take control of your time, focus your energy, and live a more purposeful life. From focusing on what you can control to embracing challenges and aligning your actions with your deeper purpose, each rule offers a unique way to break free from procrastination and build habits that support your goals. The beauty of Stoicism lies in its simplicity and adaptability. These rules aren't about perfection or rigid routines, they're about progress. Whether it's breaking tasks into smaller steps, practicing gratitude, or reflecting on your mortality, each rule invites you to take small, consistent actions that add up over time. And the best part, you don't have to implement all 30 at once. Start with one or two that resonate with you and let them guide your daily decisions. As you begin to apply these Stoic principles, remember that overcoming procrastination is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when you feel motivated and days when you struggle, and that's okay. What matters is that you keep moving forward one step at a time. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Which of these rules stood out the most? Have you already started applying any of them in your life? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your journey could inspire someone else to take that first step toward overcoming procrastination. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more Stoic wisdom. Together, let's continue exploring how ancient philosophy can help us navigate the challenges of modern life. Until next time, stay focused, stay purposeful, and keep striving toward your best self.